Oh yes. Yeah.
Did you see that big guy? Gap Tooth Gaines is tearing it up. Follow the moves just like this.
Not murdered at the scale that the Europeans have. What's your answer?
They've also committed atrocities.
I said, why have the Asians not murdered at the scale that the Europeans have? And let me tell you why that's a brilliant question that you cannot answer. It's a brilliant question because you said the reason the Africans didn't do it is because their IQ was too low. I said, okay, well, earlier I set you up. I said, do the Asians have low IQ? And you said, no, the Asians have higher IQ. I said, okay, fantastic. And then later on, you stated that the reason Europeans were able to murder at scale is because they have high IQ and that yielded good technology, murder technology. So then I said, well, then why is it that the Asians, who are superior in intellect even to the Europeans, why haven't they murdered at scale? It's because
may I respond?
It's because it's not in their nature. So I'm going to give you the question. I'm going to give you the question real quick. I'm going to just restate the question. The question is, why have the Asian populations not committed mass murder, genocide, and mass RAPE at scale in the way that the Europeans have done around the world, if it's not a unique trait to the Europeans?
I'll do my best at answering that question without really knowing a succinct answer. But I wanted to say, I did not bring up IQ. I asked you, where does ambition come from? And then you brought up IQ.
No, this was unrelated. This was a different time.
So I don't appreciate this. Okay. All right. Well, again, okay, I guess we'll disagree. That's fine. Why haven't Asians committed genocide at scale? Because they're way nicer and Europeans are evil, I guess. It's fine. Like, fine.
No, you can try to give an answer.
Realistically, and I'm not trying to say Europeans are evil, but realistically, we know that Asiatic cultures are more peaceful. They're more zen. You know what I'm saying? And it is in y'all nature to go conquer some shit, homie. Like, y'all reputation precedes y'all. See, they don't like the fact that their reputation precedes them. But bro, you can't go around freaking conquering, pillaging, and plundering the entire world, the native lands, and then not expect to reap the backlash. Like, what are you talking about? These dudes are, and look at this smile. You see that every time they do the little weird smile, it's because they know that in their heart of hearts, they getting hit in the chest with this truth. Marquett is flying these dudes. He's frying them.
You can try to argue against it. It's impossible.
But if I grant that is true, then you completely believe the race realist perspective, like, which is fine. I mean, we can say that.
You have a defense of the nature of the European ruling class?
I reject the idea that committing atrocity is an exclusively European characteristic. I think
that's a straw man. That's not the argument. The argument is that the Europeans have that trait much stronger.
Yeah, because they developed that level of technology. That's the whole point. What do you say to that?
I already addressed that.
Like, he literally just...
Do you think that the Chinese are technologically behind the Americans?
Bruh.
No, they've mastered replication, but not innovation. Most of the replication...
You know what? I like what you said. And
that's a quick little one-liner, but that doesn't hold any substance. See, you're talking, but you're not saying nothing, gang. That's the arrogance of these dudes, bro. Y'all are real arrogant if you think that the Grand Dragon China ain't got some stuff over there, especially how they leading with AI and bruh. Look, they got some stuff over there that if we really went to war, it's because we spend so much money over here in America on our military budget, we'd give them hell. But technology-wise, like technologically, I think they got us, gang. We're just being honest.
I think that's my fear. That's my fear for our country, is that mentality, because that used to be true. And I fear that and I'm going to say our white supremacy, because unfortunately in the hells of North America, we're in the boat with you guys. And I think a lot of us believe in...
For better or for worse.
Would you rather be here or Africa?
Do you want me to? You mind if I answer the question I asked? I was.
Well, I'm just curious to know that.
No, I'll address that. That's a good question. I will absolutely address that, and I think that's a valid question. I think that's a valid question. Okay. But I'm going to address the piece right now with regards to China. And again, just so we all know, have either of you been to China?
No. Nope.
Okay. I've been to China many times. I know. That's why I'm qualified to speak on this topic.
Why they haven't
because I've done the research. No, because I've done the research and I've done business there and I've been there many times. So that makes me a more qualified speaker. That's just the truth, respectfully. Right. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
So
you haven't been there.
You've not been. Yeah. But if you guys are being honest and reasonable, you can say, Marquett, you're right. You're more qualified. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's
and that's the arrogance of these. Mind you, these are two high school dudes talking to a collegiately educated black man. He's clearly running circles around these dudes when it comes to just knowledge. You know what I'm saying? He's been to the lands he's talking about. He can give you multiple context points. And they disregard all of that because they feel like they can intellectually best him when it is yet to be seen, gang. Like, y'all are getting ate a lot. And you know, these debates are great, man. I like the dynamics, and I love just seeing the inner mind of people with this mentality, because it's like, do y'all not see the mental gymnastics y'all are doing?
Wrong.
Oh, you guys know more about China than I do.
No, it's not what I'm saying. You don't.
No, I'm just trying to feel like, where did you guys go to university?
Marquette. Let's.
My name is pronounced Marquett.
Okay, my apologies.
No, I know, I understand.
I wasn't trying to throw shade at you. And honestly, can we throw the performative thing aside?
It's not performative. It's just the facts, and we're going to deal with the facts. The facts are that in this country, the United States of America, we know that credential and qualification means something. So you're not going to come here and try to act like, because you can put up a podcast, that you get to act as though you're informed when you're woefully uninformed.
Facts.
We're not going to behave as though going somewhere many times gives you no perspective. It's not the whole perspective, but it's a lot. We're not going to behave as though an American doing business with the Chinese government does not give you meaningful insights. We're also not going to behave as though someone who gets 2 degrees from top 20 universities in the world probably doesn't have an advantage. So we're just going to be real. Like, you can laugh and be goofy, but all that reveals is the insecurity of being humble enough to say, I don't know. It doesn't mean you're not smart. It just means you're not proven. That's all.
I can both say that I don't know and also say that's an appeal to authority, which is a logical fallacy. And you went to Berkeley, so you should.
No, that's not a logical. That's not a logical fallacy. And authority does matter. You're misapplying that, unfortunately. Are you suggesting that in your country, the United States of America, you don't think it's highly likely that someone with 2 advanced degrees from top 20 universities is probably more informed than someone who's okay? Good. So then let's deal with the generality.
You did suggest that when y'all did that little goofy, sarcastic laugh when he told you that. Bro, he's pulling y'all rank. That's what he's doing. And they don't like, it's because, you see, in this country, there's a mentality, right? There's a line, right? Where they say that white males are raised to believe that in America, the world revolves around them. And you can see it in their mentality. I don't know if that's true for all white males. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for that. But for the white supremacists, for the way these two think, you can tell that all their life, they mom told Lil Timmy and Lil Johnny that the world is going to bend to their whim. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the one on the left, when he was like, you know, I think it's the white man's job to spread abundance. It's like, gang. Clearly you're misinformed, because your brand of abundance is what other people would consider horror.
Because that's what white supremacists often deal in, generalities. And let's deal with the generalities, right?
Right. Now, my bad, dude. Dude.
Let's deal with the generalities.
Do I have to visit somewhere to have an opinion on it? Is that the...
No, you can have an uninformed opinion. You've already done that. You don't have to visit to have an uninformed opinion. But what I'm pointing out to you is that it's very arrogant to be so strongly invested in a certain perspective of South Africa. You haven't even touched down in South Africa, much less the African continent. You know so much about China. You've never even been in China. China. You don't know how behind we are. So, for example, the reason that Donald Trump resonated with me when he said "Make America Great Again" is because I'm a great patriot. And when I had an office in South Korea, I hated the fact that the South Koreans on our tax dollar were more advanced than we are. I hated the fact. I know what the state of South Korea is. I know what the state of China is. I was in the software business. And if you know anything, you know that government innovation, especially in weapons, often comes from private industry. Which private industry? Probably software, probably aerospace. You look like a goofy child. Don't represent yourself like that.
Y'all really look goofy.
No, really.
It's just like you're gonna throw a temper tantrum.
No, you just look foolish when you're laughing because you're ignorant. You shouldn't do that. And
that's literally what that is.
An example of what I was talking about earlier. I said the quality of the white man is declining. That's why we're in trouble.
Mark,
where did you go to university, Jackson?
I'm not going to play this game of opinion.
It's not a game. I'm just asking you who you are.
Marquett,
where did you go to university, Jackson?
I'm not talking about that. Marquett.
Jackson, you don't.
Why don't you want to talk about that, Jackson? Is it because you didn't go to university? I didn't go to university, okay? But at the same particular time, I don't try to speak on some type of authority on a subject that I'm clearly not versed in, you know? Now, I do calisthenics, right? If you want to talk to me about pull-ups, the mechanics of doing a muscle up, I talk about that all day. You know, I'm ex-military. I can talk military nomenclature with you. You dig? I can talk Navy specifically. All right. You know what I'm saying? You want to meet me at the Fort Bouquet by the scuttlebutt, and we can go ahead and chop it up. We could do that. You dig? But yeah, I'm not gonna sit up here and try to prop myself up and pretend that I'm just some intellectual when it comes to the matters of different cultures, different lands. And honestly, you know, I got a general knowledge of history because history was one of my favorite subjects in school. You know, one of the few subjects I actually paid attention to because it was violent, right? And yeah, man, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm just some major historian or act like because I have an opinion on, you know, how history was, that my opinion is the best. Or like, these two are just Jesus Christ, man. I couldn't be friends with them.
You don't have to hide. You're an honest man. I'm merely asking you about yourself. It's an interview. Where did you go to university?
Oh, I didn't go to college. I don't think that you have
right. And Jackson, here's the issue. The reason that you want to laugh, the reason that you want to laugh is because you feel inferior because you didn't go to college. The truth is, it doesn't matter if you did or did not go, but the fake laughter does not erase the fact that you just tried to hide. If you're being interviewed,
it's because they feel inferior to a black man. That's what's really irking them. It's not that they feel inferior. It's that you black have the audacity of this Negro to talk condescendingly to us. That's what it is. You know
you're going to be asked questions. So the fact that you don't want to answer a basic question, it just shows that there's something you're hiding and it's problematic. Here's what I'm saying about the white man today. The problem is that they make fun of the blacks and say the blacks are down here. Fair enough. But the whites have fallen as well. If you look at illegitimacy rates in the white family, they're skyrocketing. You're having white single moms. You're living in the same way that the blacks are living that you like to disparage. So all I'm saying is just be honest, which I know is quite a task. Just be honest.
If this was an interview, we have to be given the opportunity to actually say something. You've been taking up most of the space.
You didn't even want to answer the question I just asked you. So please don't try the deceit. It doesn't work.
He ducked and dodged that damn. He ducked and dodged that question like Floyd Mayweather. And we. Where'd you go to university? University. All right, I didn't go to university.
You didn't answer the thing we said 10 minutes ago. I mean, let's be honest.
Do you recall when I was answering the question, your brother interrupted and I said, may I answer the question I was asked? And then you started cackling like a girl.
One of the things we're trying to say is that you don't have to experience something anecdotally to have a perspective on it. So I reject this appeal to authority point of view.
But to have an educated perspective,
or South Africa,
you do.
Or wherever to have an opinion on it. You seem to be very defensive of that, though. It's kind of, I don't understand what's going on there.
It's because you think that you're using the logical fallacies correctly and you're misapplying them. And that probably is because you did not learn them in a formal setting. You see, if you learn logical fallacies in a logic class, which was actually a philosophy class at the University of California, Berkeley, from an expert, you're going to learn it really well. Whereas in your case, you're misapplying it. You're suggesting that someone who's been to China many times and done business with the government there in the software vertical doesn't have any advantage on you when speaking about China. That's just foolishness. And it's because you're arrogant that you can't concede the simple and obvious.
Okay, so does a black person have to experience slavery to know that it's wrong?
Give me 1 sec. I need my...
What does... That's not the same thing, gang. That's not the same thing. It's not. Like, what is... Why is that the first thing your mind goes to, bro? You see the mentality of these two? Oh, man. That's crazy. Y'all sitting up there looking like just a pair of uncooked French fries. Look at you.
My charger. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah. Charge up.
Hey there. I don't know where my charger is. Would you be kind enough?
He's calling his white
through my office and see if it's in there. I think that's where it is. If it's not in the office, who knows? Okay. Thank you. Bye. Okay.
Is that your white slave?
Oh, you saw the Burton Plantation?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll have to talk about that at some point. But anyways, I yield the floor, unless you wanted me to answer a particular question.
Well, I feel like we got trapped in the weeds there for a little bit, got a little emotional there. But all we're asking is that I have to take issue with this idea that you have to experience something anecdotally to have an opinion on it. How would you
let me ask you a question. Let me just ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Marquett, respectfully, you've been talking for a long time. Please
let me ask. I just said let me ask you a question, so that means I'm going to give you the floor to talk. Isn't that what that means?
It cut out. I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
I said let me ask you a question, which means I would give you the floor to talk.
Your questions are more like diatribes, but go ahead.
Well, I noticed that you've been very sensitive throughout the entire time. You've felt as though you were attacked.
I'm not the one screaming and yelling the whole time, but go ahead.
Well,
he only getting sensitive when you start frying his ass, man. You gotta turn down the cooking grease, Marquett, okay? Look, it's too hot for these uncooked French fries, all right? Now, I know this is supposed to be fast food, but you slow cooking them, all right? You got them simmering in a crock pot or something. You gotta, and then you got too much seasoning. They ain't used to seasoning. They think salt is spicy, so you can't, you gotta chill, gang. You really doing too much.
Well, I know you usually resort to the fake laugh, which I've seen at least 7 times.
It's not a fake laugh. I actually am entertained, but go ahead.
I don't think you're entertained. I think you're mostly embarrassed. If someone asks you where you went to university and you say, I refuse to answer that, but you're in an interview, literally it's about you.
I'm a college dropout. I just said I didn't go to college.
Yeah, but why did you not want to answer the question?
You've exposed me.
Why did you not want to answer the question?
Because I was trying to answer something you said 10 minutes ago.
So you're saying you didn't want to answer that question because you were trying to answer a question from 10 minutes ago?
Dude, we're jumping from topic to topic.
What
I'm
you're saying
I'm trying to answer something you're saying from 10 minutes ago.
Take a look. So you didn't see it in my office?
I gotta take a water break on this one.
This is fun. We gotta do more of this. Yeah, this is a good time. Maybe we'll invite us next time.
That is interesting. So you did check in my office?
I'm good. Yeah.
Did you check in the foyer?
He's
like right before the stairs?
Yeah, I checked there too.
That's curious. Check the porch room? Oh, okay.
Do you have any pets, Marquett?
Say that again?
Do you have any pets? I feel like you have a bird.
No pets. No pets.
For some reason, I can see this dude owning like a Doberman pincer. I feel like Marquett would own a Doberman. But he'd have it named like Fluffy or something. You know what I'm saying? But it'd be a killer. But it's named Fluffy. I don't know. That's what I see.
They are a lot.
Okay, let me see if the audience sent in some questions. I trust that they did. Shout out to Reginald. He writes, are they trying to redefine their bloodlines? But why? Could this be an effort to renew some form of racial supremacy? If so, my dear boys, you're a day late and a dollar short. In the 40s and 50s, you may have had a chance. Now we know the who, what, where, when, why, and how of your genetics.
I'm not sure what that means, but
he at that last sentence had boggled me too. Shout out to Roderick supporting the work, came in by PayPal. May also acknowledge he came back. He writes, they're just reciting the white man's burden. That was reminiscent definitely of what Jackson was saying. Pardon?
What is that? I don't know what that is.
You're not familiar with the concept of the white man's burden?
Nope.
Okay.
Maybe we're living it. We're just living that white man's burden. Is it like a book, or is it just like a cultural trope or something?
No, it's something that generally is taught in university.
Oh my God.
No. And I don't say that to be disrespectful. It's just like there's certain things that are usually taught in like the 6th grade, like the book The Giver. It's like in American Standard, they'll teach you in the 6th grade. And the white man's burden is generally taught in university in your first year, just because it's a little off color for most people who learned about the Thanksgiving bit, which was false.
Can you read it? It's small. Read it in your Marquett voice.
Yeah, I'm going to enlarge it in a moment. So
I don't know how to read.
I want to get a better resource for you guys.
I never learned to read. That's
okay, here we go. I'm going to enlarge this for you guys. All right, here we go. White man's burden is a phrase that refers to the 19th and early 20th century racist and imperialist idea that European colonial powers had a moral obligation to civilize non-Western peoples.
That's exactly the mentality that these two display. I feel like it's our job to spread abundance. We go in and we civilize these countries, and like that's literally to the T. Damn. That's crazy, gang. So I wonder if it's in y'all DNA like that for real. Cause now I'm really just wondering, brother. That's wild. Man.
So this is obviously speaking to what Jackson was referring to in terms of embedding the whites among the blacks too.
Isn't that what assimilation is?
No, sir.
Okay, well, what's the difference? Because one is one way and the other is imposed by force, or what?
So assimilation is the concept that a non-native people would come among a larger group and fit into that group. Whereas colonization is actually quite the opposite. The non-native people come in and take over the other group.
But how is that
they're quite opposite?
Already colonized. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, wouldn't it just be assimilation at this point?
Repeat.
How would it be an assimilation if only like 2% of Africa is white and the rest is black? No, it's still colonization, gang. Like, dude. Am I tripping? Is there something I'm missing? Because I could be the one tripping here. Like, I'm not above not understanding some shit. But I feel like I be tripping when they not getting this simple stuff. Or are they playing dumb? Are they playing dumb?
Repeat the whole sentence, please.
The United States has already been colonized. We're past that. I don't have any desire to leave or colonize anyone. So at this point, wouldn't it just be a matter of assimilation rather than some like weird?
Like, he wasn't referring to the person who sent in the PayPal was not referring to the United States. Rather, he was referring to Jackson's remarks on whites in Africa. Shout out to Reginald. He writes, "What a tangled web you weave, Saint. Let them continue to expose themselves." Gotcha. This guy. Shout out to Calvin. He writes, "Peace to Saint. Shout out to the big homie." I also acknowledge Trayvon. He writes, "Question for Jackson. If black people travel to Europe embodied over 600 million whites, that's a lot of whites, would that be okay because blacks are just trying to spread their DNA?"
It cut out there for a second.
Sure. I'll just reread it in full. The gentleman writes, "If blacks travel to Europe embodied over 600 million whites, would that be okay because blacks are just trying to spread their DNA?"
Spread their DNA. No, that wouldn't be right. I don't think that's what white people do either. And we're not defending that either. Yeah. And why am I not getting any questions? Everyone hates him. Give me racist questions.
I'm not interested in bodying anybody. has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
Unless it's in the booth.
It's an interesting question, but I mean, hypothetically, I guess kind of it's an interesting question. If he's saying like the same idea that I'm talking about, but in reverse, yeah, if Black people were able to travel to Europe and civilize like native white people, that could be a good thing. Yeah, 100%.
And if they could do it, they would have already done it by now. So
The Moors. Y'all were literally in the Dark Ages for 500 years. And then the Moors came and re-civilized y'all. I'm not collegiately educated, gang, but I know that. You know? And that lets you know the biases of these people, man. They don't... Like, if you would just take the time and look back through history, bro, you know, at least be even keel with it. Look at the look in his eye, man. Whew, the devil is alive. The devil is alive. How much more we got on this one? We're gonna watch a little bit more of this one, and then we're gonna end it, man. And we're gonna do a part 4 of this, and then that's gonna be the whole thing, man. Shout out to y'all. Let's keep going.
what are we talking about? You know what I mean?
Well, I think we disagree on the nature of the populations, because you said if they could do it, well, the Asians certainly could do it. You said they have good technology, and you said that they're intelligent, and also we know that they have the population to do it. Their population dwarfs the European population, so why haven't they done it?
Well, intelligence, I don't think, is the main predictor of conquest. That's why I asked you where ambition came from. Then you brought up IQ, which is correlated to a lot of things. But it's not like, is a really good artist a high IQ person necessarily? No, there's inventive. What's that?
I'm sorry, I was just informing someone. I apologize. I was just telling them that I found an alternative for electricity. Go ahead.
So like a really good artist, right? Does that mean that they have a high IQ by necessity? It's like, no, they possess a characteristic that is distinct from like mental faculty and memory and whatever constitutes IQ, right? So obviously IQ is correlated with all sorts of things, like whether or not you'll end up in jail, whether or not you'll get married once or twice or have kids out of wedlock, all sorts of these things. But IQ isn't the end all be all. That's why I brought up the characteristic of ambition, not IQ. Because I would say,
and I think your note on ambition, and you'll recall, is that that's essentially a euphemism for the ruthlessness, which is inherent to that population because they come from a place where they experience scarcity, which means they have to compete for resources, and they have to accumulate resources and be rational and do it in advance. And
well, so I think that's where they come. Let's say that I accept that. Where do we go from here? Because then we just kind of agree.
That's the question to ask. I like this guy. I actually like this guy because he accepted he basically just accepted his evil nature. And like as long once we start being honest about this stuff, then we can start to make the changes. But until we can even be honest, changes can't be made. And he was just honest. Shout out to you, gang. Shout out to you. We gonna end this one right here. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna link part 4 into the to the end of this at the outro. Make sure y'all go over to Marquett channel and sub over there. You dig? And yeah, man, this is one for the ages, man. This is a good one, bro. But yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this one down in the comment section. That's all I got for y'all in this one. Be sure to check me out on the next one. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. Comment down in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Road to 5K. We on the way. And until next time, gang, you know the name. It's Transition representing Gap Tooth Gang. Stay tuned, man. We dropping the Stay tuned, man. We dropping part 4 at the end of this at the outro. I'm gonna link it at the outro. But oh yeah, and don't forget, life isn't about making it from point A to point B. Life is about living in between the gaps. Peace out.
Lane sippers and mean strippers who just all about the green and it means just fast living. And I'm not one to judge cause I've been off that mud double cup with no fucks when I pass limits. And who don't like to smoke and get gone off a cone but it would not get blown unless gas in it. Hold up, we bout to roll up. I got some smoke, keep you up like it's Folgers. Rookies try to hit the cookie, fuck around and throw up. So we drop the hottest pen verse and it blow up. But we got some recognition from a nigga, so what? We be walking down the street, get beats like I know us. Now bitches in the sheets, but the freak on the meat skis keep real defeat. Hell yeah, make them toast. You know what? I go nuts, but yet I'm steady focused. Probably from the bomb ass, fly with no lotus. I can't even think how many trees we done smoked. fucked up. Whatever the number, gonna fuck sure need a tow truck. Getting shit across the seas with ease, put a boat up. That's no lie, baby girl, no joking. Shorty said she can't swim, I'm behind the back stroking. Do it for the love of buzz, stuff a blunt, make it swell and make your fucking chest open.